Hey everyone! So this is an update video of the upcoming 2.0 Adventure Kit release. This time around it will be a pre-release for quite a while, so there are a lot of features that are new and may not quite work the way they should be yet. So this is a test, an alpha release. As you can see, the first big feature that has been introduced is blind zones. So now characters can take very different routes on ledges and tight spaces and balancing beams. The next new feature is that arrows now stick to characters if the character mesh has the visibility collision enabled. And this was a much requested thing. So arrows no longer stick to the character collision capsule, but instead to the mesh and stay there. So there's a little test dummy in the demo map now. Another big thing is that transitions are now handled by the animation blueprint. So I have gotten a lot of requests that the action system in the Adventure Kit is a bit unusable and unwieldy. And so I have changed that to now be completely driven by the anim blueprint. So it's a very visual process now, and everything is driven by animations and animation notifiers. If you still use actions, if you have an old project with actions, that still works. So the actions by no means are gone. They are just now kind of on legacy support. And moving forward, I will focus on the new system. And yeah, here you can see the new camera system. So in the past release version, the Adventure Kit's cameras were all kind of natively coded. Now there's an Adventure Kit camera controller, which has a set of configurations where you can pretty much configure everything camera-wise. You can set kind of a clamp on the camera if the character should face where the camera is facing or not, and you can also now configure which camera should do what. So it's all in a list of the camera controller, and you can simply, well, configure everything you need, and there's no hard coding anymore. And if you want to, you can create a custom blueprint implementation and change, well, everything if you want. So yeah, here you can see that there's another camera on the character, and I can just set the component name, and the camera will then be a different one. Just reverting that now. And every camera is one entry in the list, and you can add as many entries as you want. And then you can switch between them. So there's the old Adventure Kit implementation won't really work anymore. You just drag and drop a camera controller in your character to update it. So the next thing is there are now a lot of verbose logging options. So you can set a flag in the config of the default engine to have log Adventure Kit zone or character or item or something else, and set that to verbose, and it will spew out a lot of debug information so you can see what's going on. Okay, here's the big thing. The alpha now has multiplayer support. So there's this little widget that you can place in a level, and it will take care of starting a server or connecting to a server, and then you can test out multiplayer. This is really the big experimental thing now. It should work for the most part. There are still some sync issues, some lag issues. Not all the game templates support multiplayer yet, but it should work for the most part, but I really need a lot of testing done now so I can really finish it up. So this is why I'm releasing this version as an alpha version, because I have to get a lot of feedback now. What works, what doesn't work, when does something not work. If you want to use the kit in a single player project, it may be no problem. Just be aware that the multiplayer component is not yet quite finished. Everything in single player should still work, and it should, for the most part, be backwards compatible with your old project. However, before upgrading, please make a backup of your old project before you just copy new stuff in. Especially the blueprints have changed a lot. The underlying code base too, but as long as you copy the new plugin in, it should still retain all the functionality from before. But again, if something breaks, let me know. I plan to have this be a backwards compatible update, but there may be cases I've forgotten simply, and I need your feedback to know what kind of breaks and what not, so I can make it better. And for the final update, I want it to be backwards compatible and pretty much have no problems for people just copying stuff in. Yeah, so that's the update. Head over to GitHub to download the release, and any feedback's welcome. Thanks for watching.